Well, anyway, um, this is the old top. Um, at one point, prior to us putting this barrel away, this top was well, these sections or these boards that you see were basically the top. Um, I've used a different type of wood. Of course, this is a hardwood that's rotted out. You can see the carbon, which most likely was the bottom, and these other boards here had carbon on them, but due to the age, it's worn off over time. There, and you can see most of it's worn off on this end here. Anyway, here are the steel bands. I got to restore these. They're actually still in good shape. This barrel could be 100 years old, maybe more, and maybe a little bit less than that. But it's outlasted time. The wood is actually in good shape, but this is not. I actually inspected the wood. It's very brittle now. So here's again what I cut out for the section that's going in the middle. Of course, if I do cut a top out, it's only because of if I utilize this barrel for winter flowers, which there is such a thing, that actually grow in the soil in the winter. They almost look like tulips, but you need bulbs, and they have to be planted in advance. I've never grown them before. But anyway, I may place a top on this during the winter time. In the summer, it will be open. But anyway, and in this, so there's going to be about six inches below the top of this. There's going to be a holder or shelf that will hold the dirt, and then somewhere in the middle, this particular shelf for holding the dirt will be placed somewhere around here. And at the bottom, I'm going to build another one of these bottom plate, and I don't know. There's going to be some space in between that, but I need it for support. So I have to do it. So there's going to be 3 of these plates. One at the top, about 6 inches below the top, and there's going to be one in the center, and then one at the bottom. 3. Okay. My top one is going to be used for flowers. The middle one's going to be used for flowers. The bottom one's more for support. And if I do build a 4th one, which I don't have enough wood for that, I'll do that later. It will be made of cedar. Right now, this is what they call is white wood, and not the same type of white wood. In terms of hardwood, it's very soft. It's subjected to rot if you leave it exposed, but I'm going to preserve this wood with a layer of rubberized spray. And of course, I'm punching holes through that to allow for the water to drain when there's the dirt is too saturated. And of course, those same holes will allow water to drip down to the bottom to another, and that will drain itself as well. So I'm trying again to get this done before spring, so that whatever we place in there will be ready to grow in the warm environment during the summer as well. So anyway, that's pretty much it, and give you a better view of everything. I'm using wood bits here. You see the tape on there. Painter's tape basically is used as a guide for me. I can't drill more than 1 inch into the wood. I'm going to be using dowels to put these boards together, and they're 2 inch long, 3/8 in diameter wood dowels. There's going to be 3 on each board. Well, not each board, but it's going to be a total of 9. I already have my lines, center lines, drawn out on this board, so I know where to drill on each one. I did this early this morning prior to coming out today. So here we go. I'm going to drill now, and I'm using a grip here to hold it, and I'm using a hand drill. I unfortunately sold my drill press some time ago. I wish I never did. When I was younger, I had nowhere to store it when I lived in a condominium, so I sold it. I should have kept it. So I'm going to hand drill these holes, line them up. I used a jigsaw, a scrolling jigsaw from Craftsman to cut this out. I took careful measurements in the barrel. This particular board is 21 7/8 in diameter, and I'm going to angle it so when the water does drain, it's going to drain out towards the front of the barrel. It's going to be a slight slope, so it's not going to be perfectly flat in the barrel itself. But I cut it on a 45-degree, well, angle, if you want to call it a bevel or whatever. But the outer edges, I'll put this together so you can see. Sorry about that. I pushed you guys on the ground. So this is it here. I don't have it perfectly aligned right now, but when it's done, it will be. And I'm not going to be using any chisels or anything because this is not a perfect job. And of course, if there's any open edges along the between the barrel and the edge of this shelf here, I'll probably end up going to cut a very thin strip of wood and push it into the gaps. And of course, I'm going to spray this down with water resistant rubberized spray. It's modern times now, so I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm not going to be burning anything to create carbon and a carbon layer. Don't need to. But again, this is white board, which is like a conifer. Don't know what type it is, but it'll do the job. Yep, and that's it. The top, again, is if I do make a top, it's going to probably be oak or cedar to withstand the weather when I close it up in the winter time. So anyway, here I go. I'm going to start now.